going on, guys? It's your boy Tom Talks Rubbish, and today I'm back with a little bit of a different video as I am here with my boy Drew Sheeky to basically talk about moving out and things like that and how it's different in 2020. So welcome to the show, Drew. Do you want to explain a bit who you are and stuff?
I'm Drew. I'm Tom's carer.
And earlier this, about a month ago now, wasn't it?
About 3.5 weeks.
You decided to basically venture out on your own and move not just out of your parents' house, just away completely.
Mhm.
So basically, we're here to talk about that today, guys. And so I'll start with, I've got a few questions for Drew. I'll start with my first question, which is, what prompted that decision?
Just thought, why not? Just do it. I went away. Went to my friends. I went to Brighton for a couple of days, and then went to my friends in Canterbury. And then just came back and was like, yeah, I want to move. I just want to live on my own, move out and have fun. And it was a no-brainer. My parents said I could always come back if I needed to. So it was a no-brainer. I just got on with it.
Yeah, you know this, but we've talked about it a few times. Since you've moved, I've been thinking along the same lines. So hopefully, in the next year or so, I might be moved out.
Might be.
But anyway, why now? Because obviously we're in the middle of a global pandemic. Why not when the pandemic's over?
If I get something in my head, I have to do it.
No.
Once something's in my head, I'm doing it, and it was in my head. So it took me about a month and 2 weeks to move out, find a place to move out, and I just did it.
And was it sort of a, if you put it on the back burner, you wouldn't do it sort of thing?
When I originally looked at it, I thought that I was going to be moving out at the start of next year.
Yeah.
But a place came up next to my friends, literally in the flat next door, so I took it.
Yeah, I
And
fully.
moved out with another friend as well.
And was it sort of a no time like the present sort of thing? If I don't do it now, I'll
It
never
was
do
just
it.
like, I've got nothing else to lose, just do it now.
Yeah. And then next question is, what was your first week like?
Yeah,
So
first week was sick.
So you've obviously settled in now. You've got everything unpacked. How was your first week?
Yeah, it was good. It was just chilled out. It was just like being on holiday for the first week.
Oh,
It's
really?
been like being on holiday the whole time, really.
Do you think the bubble will burst eventually, and it'll be like it'll become mundane ain't the right word, but you know what I mean?
No, because you're living with friends. Living with friends is so different to living with your parents.
Yeah.
As much as you have your own space at home, you also don't have your own space.
Yeah.
Whereas that is your own space.
Yeah. Yeah. So what was the highlight of the first week for you then?
Oh, I don't know. Not too sure. Probably just, I don't know.
The freedom?
Freedom, yeah. We had a party the first night we moved in. That was pretty sick.
Yeah.
And we dressed out. That was quite cool.
Nice. One thing that surprised you, either about yourself or the whole aspect of moving out?
How easy it is. A lot of people told me that it'd be hard. Financially, it can be quite hard. But in terms of like just living living with friends and stuff, so easy.
Yeah.
Get closer to the people you're living with. It's good.
What is one thing you definitely took for granted when you lived at home that now you're like, oh, I wish I had someone to do that for me, or I miss someone doing that for me?
Nothing really, I don't think. I don't think anything. I don't think I took for granted anything. I think I knew what I did and stuff. I knew what I did at home, and I knew what I could do, and I've moved down.
Because one thing I will say about you, just based on stories you've told me, stories I've heard from your mum, etc., you were quite independent at home anyway.
Yeah,
so it wasn't that big of a change. I don't know if that's the right word.
The biggest change is just being away from family and friends. But you're living with your friends as well at the same time, so it's not as bad.
Yeah. What would you say to anyone that's thinking about it?
Do it.
Like, genuinely?
Do it. No time like tomorrow.
Yeah.
No time like the present.
I knew what you meant.
Do it. Just go ahead and do it. Why not? It's the worst.
Would you say to them, though, make sure you have a safety net to fall back on?
I wouldn't say make sure of it. I think we learn from our mistakes. So if you make a mistake and it goes wrong, you just pick up and you learn from it. But if you've got a safety net to fall back on, then like I did, like I do,
That's obviously an advantage.
it's just an extra pro to moving out.
But you wouldn't say, for example, someone hasn't got that safety net. You wouldn't say to them, "Don't do it."
No, I'd say do it.
Like just
I'd say do it. If I've not got a safety net, do it. If it fails, you just got to figure out what you're going to do after that.
okay. And then, obviously, we're in the middle of a global pandemic at the minute. What was made more difficult, do you think, because of the global pandemic, that with moving out?
Getting a job,
Really?
because I had a job lined up and then the lockdown caused that job to fall through. So finding another job was being difficult.
Yeah, cool. What is one, a similar vein of that question, what is one thing you feel like you missed out on because of COVID?
Probably just what we're moving to the Canterbury.
Yeah.
Probably just pubs being closed because they closed as soon as I moved there.
So it's like you can't go check out your local spots
I
and stuff
literally
like
got there and they closed 2 days later.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have
2
you-
days.
So you haven't been to a restaurant? Obviously you have because you've been there before.
No,
But
yeah,
you haven't, since you moved, you haven't been to a restaurant or anything like that?
no,
Or you haven't been to a pub?
no pubs are open. No.
So would you say that's the main thing you feel like you missed out on?
Yeah, pubs and clubs and stuff. Always fun.
This is a harder one because, and when we talked about these questions, you said to me this was one that you struggled to answer. But what is one experience you feel like you gained because of COVID?
I don't know. Probably just. It's not even an experience I've gained. It's just where I've literally moved in. And we've been on lockdown. I've just literally lived with my friends for 3.5 weeks. Like it's just unreal. Like
Yeah.
it's we're always just joking and laughing, and you're thinking if we're not joking and laughing, then we're just chilling out on our own.
Do you believe the adage of if like a friendship or relationship can survive this COVID, they can like being locked down with everyone, they can survive anything?
No, I think you just take it as it is and you move forwards.
Oh.
Relationship can end at any point. Friendship can end at any point.
This has been great, but before we go, I have one final question. I know the answer to this question, but to tell the viewers, would you go back if you could?
Go back home.
I don't mean like obviously you're down in Canterbury at the minute, but I don't mean move back to Harlow. I mean specifically move back in with your parents.
No, I wouldn't move back to Harlow either.
Can't say that I blame you, but that's not the point.
I wouldn't move back in with my parents unless I had no other option.
Yeah, but say like
I wouldn't move back in.
you're not,
House.
and the example I'll give is you're not like, oh, I want to go home. Like,
No, not at all. Not a single part of me has said that.
yeah,
Not a single
you
part.
never,
No regrets.
you've not had a moment yet where you were like, I just want to go home.
No, not really. Still speak to my parents and stuff, so it's no issue. Still speak to family, and once everything's over, they can come down whenever they want, and anyone else, friends can come down. But I'm living with friends, so mine's
It's-
taken off of it.
It's a slightly different situation. Like maybe if someone moved out completely on their own, it might be different.
Yeah, if I was living on my own, it might be completely different. But I'm not. I'm living with
People that you've
one
known.
of my best friends, my brother, and loads of other friends. So
Exactly. So overall, you'd recommend the experience. Ain't the
100%.
right word, but you know what I mean.
100% do it. If anyone's thinking about doing it, just do it. Go ahead and do it.
All right, this has been awesome. Thank you for the interview, Drew, and
Alright, mate,
I'll
anytime.
I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.